Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I'm your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, here on this Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday, the 26th of November. All right, everybody, I want to thank you very, very much for joining us. Let's see, here we go. Here we go. Thank you very much. Today, well, I thought I wouldn't have a guest. They wasn't able to make it, which is kind of just as good because this way I can give all of you a Thanksgiving reading. Now, for those of you who'd like to, I did have a wonderful guest on this past Monday, the 24th. Her name was Janice Montague, and she was giving some hacks or handy tips about tomorrow's celebration, some do's and don'ts, or whatever the case is. Of course, everybody's got their own rhythm during the holidays, but I thought it could be as much healthy as possible. So if you want to hear it, just go to my YouTube channel, Numbers in You. Although this show is called Live with Lloyd, but the channel is called Numbers in You to review it. I mean, we must have stayed on about an hour and a half. So many interesting little tips and tidbits about preparations and cooking, and it's just fascinating. So anyway, so to help you enjoy your holiday tomorrow, just go by the show I did this past Monday. In the meantime, though, since I'm not having guests and you are my guests in the Live with Lloyd family, any questions, birthdays, suggestions you have, it's going to be a treat. I'll definitely be an hour. I might stay a little over an hour, all depending. But anyway, before I get started, let me let you know about today's cosmic forecast. Please like, share, subscribe. This is Wednesday, November the 26th. The sun is in Sagittarius. The moon is in Aquarius. Mercury is still retrograde till the 29th, so we're not quite out of the woods yet. And even though, although it officially ends on the 29th, there is always a shadow effect going out and a shadow effect coming in. But it is 11 universal month on this 11th month of the year. It's a 6 universal week and a 1 universal day. So this is a good day to start. So anyone under the signs of Leo, an Aquarius, or Aries, or if you're born on the 1st, 4th, 10th, 13th, 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month, this is your time. So I want to let you know about some of our sponsors, which is Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. She has just published a book that's available on Amazon. If you go there and order the book and put in a review and take a snapshot and send in your name, your date of incorporation, she'll give you a kind of a complimentary assessment. And for those of you who would like to get the ebook, it will be available too. Also, Recept, for those of you who are thinking about starting your own business and you kind of need an AI receptionist to get you started, this might be something for you. So take advantage of the discount. Also, Numeralytics with Melinda Valentine. As you see, her numbers at the very bottom of the screen. So take a screenshot. This way you can get an assessment of what she's doing for consultations, readings. And by the way, she did do a 4-part series on reflections. This one, since we're now under Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, I figure I would show this one. Next month, when we're in an earth sign, I will show the earth edition. But whether it is fire, earth, air, or water, she's touched all the bases. This is a great, great reflection journal to keep for those fire signs in particular. Also, Uchenna, his book, Soul First, Mastering the 24 Hours in This Journey. This is an excellent book. By the way, it's now available on Amazon in an ebook, also hardcover edition, and there's a companion journal to keep a log on what is going on. Then also Nicholas Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street. Next Saturday on the 6th, they're going to be having a yoga and sound bowl session. That's probably Kafunia, knowing her as I do. And but later on that evening from 7 to 12 p.m., they're going to 7 to 12 a.m., I should say. They're going to be giving a birthday celebration to Monique, who is the owner of this store. that's been in business well over 51 years at 1396 Fulton Street. Okay. And in fact, she will be on a week from today. Yes, she'll be on Wednesday, December the 3rd. And of course, please pick up a copy of the audiobook of edition of Jazz Aphrodite's Knocking from the Inside. So I do have a surprise. Let me see the comments. First of all, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I've got some already. We'll get started with that very soon. And for those whose birthday has been this month, like DS, his birthday, there's a couple of other people. I think Stephen's wife is this month, or maybe it's Stephen. Sometimes I got so many birthdays. But either way, whether it's Mr. or Mrs. Stephen Williams in Chicago, there was a birthday this month. So I do want to wish them a happy birthday too. I think all of you can hear me, see me, which is good. I've worked that out finally, thankfully. Okay. And there's a couple of things before I start I want you to know. I do have a couple of surprises, and the surprise is this. Every year, I always do the yearly forecast. I've done it for several years, but what I've done this time is I've actually put it into a newsletter. Every single one of you who subscribe to the free monthly forecast, you should have this waiting in your email box, okay? It is a description from January to December of 2026. Everything that I could think of, you know how they say you threw the kitchen sink at something? Well, what I've done is this. For each month, starting with January, as you see, I will have a theme underneath this. And for January, it's going to be a higher purpose. I'll talk about it. If you look at it, you'll see I always have the full moon and the new moon. Also, I then begin to break down the weekly overview, the first week, the second week, the third week. So not only that, but then I go into another phase of the newsletter, and it is what signs will be favored in January, what colors to wear in January, what stones or crystals to wear or carry in January. And I also added to the yearly forecast the almanac for buying a car or starting a business or electronics or to break a habit, cutting your hair to grow it or shorten it, or even asking for a loan in certain cities. And I even give a summary of each month. Now, what's interesting is this. When you get it in your email, it's the way it's designed, you will see that it will be sent to you. Oh, and by the way, if you look at the very bottom of each of the summaries, at the bottom, you'll see a link. The link will actually take you to the recording that we did, which is because this came out just a couple of days ago. So you will see Miss Kimberly and I doing the forecast. So all you got to do is go to Kimberly, Kimbaley, to see what we were talking about in a talkative form, a narrative form. So writing and speaking are two different art forms, as you see. And by the way, for those of you who get the newsletter, it'll go till April and you think it'll stop. But if you look at the bottom left corner, it will say to view the entire message. So when you click on that, then it opens up, and then you can see all the months from January all the way down to December. So for those of you who would like to plan ahead, that would be good. And by the way, as of today, Miss Kimberly has also revealed her business 2026 calendar for the year as well. So this should be very interesting. And so I am very proud of the fact that this is the first time I've done it in a newsletter. And by the way, for those of you who wish to get the newsletter, it is absolutely free. There are no charges. There are no catches. Yes, I do promote my A Star 8 app, okay? So I do. I really do, because I'm very proud of it. But other than that, your name is not for sale. Some of you can give your birthday, some give some artificial birthdays, but it's okay. As long as you're able to get the monthly newsletter. Well, December's coming out because November's a wrap. Okay, today's the 26th. Next week it'll be so and so. But for those who wish to listen to it, you can also go to Kimberly.com to hear what we had to say as we wrapped up this month of November. But for those who wish to get the whole year, and by the way, if you print it out, the yearly forecast, it'll wind up being 30 pages. That's how much information is contained in the yearly forecast. It is all yours for free. All you have to do is sign up at Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's LLOYD-Strayhorn, STRAYHORN, and you will get all this information about each and every month, whether you want to buy a car, a loan, or anything or stuff like that. So this is something I'm really, really happy about. And of course, you can always hear us do the audio version, which you can see now. Okay, just go to Kimberly, KIMBALEY.com. No, and Instagram, YouTube is just Kimberly, KIMBALEY, and you'll see it. All righty, so that's it, folks. So what I'd like to do, any questions, suggestions you have, and I do want to wish all of you a happy Valentine's, happy happy Thanksgiving. And there's my buddy, King Simon. King Simon, how you doing? I owe you a call, my friend. I hope everything is all right on your end. So, I always forget to put my information. I'm going to try my best to do that. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go back a second. I gotta thank Empress Rel. Empress Rel is one of my Wednesday saviors. She saves the day. She makes sure y'all are straight. Don't forget to hit that like button. She gives me a report at the end of how we do. And by the way, please, I suggest you, any comment, suggestions you have, leave it. Just leave a comment, good, bad, or indifferent, because I'm always looking for ways to improve what I'm doing. This will be the 3+ year that I've been doing Live with Lloyd, which came strictly as a fluke, but turned out to be evidently something destined to be, which I really wound up enjoying. But I do want to thank her very, very much. All right, so let's go to, and also I got to thank Melanated 8. Happy Thanksgiving coming to you and the holidays and whatnot. So let's see what we got here. Double S says true love. Letitia says good evening, everyone. Now, any questions or suggestions that you have, let me know. Okay. And this is the creator of Yellow Soul High. Some of you may be first time, some of you may be the regular, but whatever it is, I appreciate all of you very, very much. I'm going to look and see, okay, here we got one of our first persons, which is Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, Blackberry 1966. Her birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks, in fact, on December the 11th, all right? So, see, what I did was, what people well, let me put it like this. I actually coined and popularized the word astronumerology. When I was coming up, it was separate and apart. You were either an astrologer or you were a numerologist, and numerologists knew a little bit about astrology, and astrology knew a little bit about numerology, but I really brought the two together and fused it, which became astronumerology. So you're not just a Sagittarius person to me anymore, but you are a Sagittarius master number 11, which makes it totally different. So therefore, you are a fire sign with fire numbers. So people born on the 11th of any month are very passionate. Don't forget, although it falls in the 2 family, like the 2nd, the 11th, 1 + 1 is 2, the 20th, the 29th. The 11 is the only one in that 2 series that's made of 2 ones. Everything else is made of a 2, then a 2 and a 0, then a 2 and a 9. So anyone born on the 11th of any month are normally known to have what is called visionary types of indicators, personalities, energies that they kind of see a little bit ahead of everybody. But then again, it's not only just made of 1, there's 2 ones. One's a pioneering, innovative, inventive, imaginative, explorative, going where no person has gone before. So in this case, it's like double up. Then not only that, are you born in the 11th, you're born in 1966, which is the master number 22. So actually with your birthday, you are master number 11 in the day you were born. and a master number 22 in the year you're born. So when I bring all that together, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. So your life path, destiny number, birth path number is a 9. But what I would say symbolically it represents, my dear, you are in the 9th grade in the school of life, being a humanitarian, global, universal, inspirational, international. 9 people in the 9th grade like to be the masters of their fate, the captains of their ship, determine their own destiny. They have strong will, grit, determination, etc., etc. But anyway, to get to the bottom line, your key numbers are the 2, 7, and 3, and your best days are always on a Monday and a Thursday, and in a minor way, a Friday. So happy birthday coming up to you. Okay, so let's see who else. Good evening to you too. I am more than enough, period. I don't doubt that. Just the fact you got that title, that means you don't play. And here is one of my favorites, Sister Maya, who is born on the 13th of September. So now, she astrologically would be known as a Virgo. Numerically, on that side of the fence, she would be known as a 4 because she's born on the 13th of the month. But when I fuse it, as I've learned how to do, and which is this phrase I pop. So when you hear astronumerology, I popularized it. And it's not bragging, but I'm just trying to tell you the origin of how that name came into being. Okay. So in this case, so she's a Virgo on one hand, a 4. So to me, she is a Virgo 4 person. That's when I started blending this. I started on radio back on WLIB in the 1980s. Okay. And so what it simply means, she is an earth sign with an air number. And so by understanding the nature of the elements, earth means very pragmatic, very grounded, very down to earth, a little conservative, yet the foresight represents the rebellious side, that innovative side, that side that likes to be different and very unique and be a standout in every way. So in a way, it's kind of like a polarity of one hand, a very detailed, which is the nature of a Virgo, yet very unconventional, which is the foresight. So this is why every Virgo isn't the same. Every number 4 isn't the same because it depends on what part of the year they're born around. And there are 12 seasons or 12 months in which the number 4 is born around, okay? So it tells me that this particular year has been a 6 years, so it tells me she's had to do, actually, no. She's in a 4 year, but the nice part about she's about to head into a 5 personal year. How did I do that? I simply take, and this is for everybody, you take the month and day you're born and then add it to the year coming up 2026. Now, 2026 is a 1. So it's very important to her because her numbers are the 4, the 1, and the 5. So therefore, she's going to be entering a 5 personal year in a 1 universal year. So I know that this is going to be in some way, shape, or form a very exciting, very important year for her that's going to bring about a fundamental change for the better. So, Sister Maya, I couldn't be so happier for you. So your key numbers again are the 4, 1, and 5. Your best days are always on a Sunday, a Monday, and a Wednesday. All righty. And so peace to everybody. Now, this person, the dove fly KM 5679. Now, this is a person's son. Where the first person was born on December the 12th, 11th that I opened up with, your son is born in the sign of Sagittarius, but in an earth number. So he is a fire sign with an earth number, which means he is a Sagittarius 8 person because he's born on the 17th day of the month. He happens to be born in the year of the 6th, which suggests to me, whoever the mother is, you might be a Taurus or a Libra, or born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th yourself. As for your son, his numbers are the 8, the 3, and the 6. So since I'm seeing a 6 in his number and a 3, it may mean that could be one of yours in that sense. So what it tells me about your son is this. On one hand, he's fiery and passionate because that's the nature of fire signs. But on the other hand, very conservative, very mature for his age. So therefore, if your son, although he's now 21 or will turn 21, and he likes older girls, that would make sense to me because 8 is the number of legacy. It's governed by Saturn, the father time number. So But in other words, though, but your son, he would do well in banking, law, working for the government, real estate, running his own business, and very intense. So he's about going on 21, about 32, or something of that nature. But your son's numbers again are the 8, the 3, and the 6. And his best days are Saturday, followed by Thursday, followed by Friday. Okay. I enjoy this. Okay. Let me see. Okay, good. Let me do this now. Okay. All right. Now, this is B Right 7408. All right. She says, have a blessed Thanksgiving. Same to you too, dear. She says her birthday is February the 18th, which makes her an Aquarius 9 person. Okay. And see, again, this is the concept that came up in the radio days back on WLIB, WBLS here in New York City. And so I'm merging it. So again, so she's not just an Aquarius. She's an Aquarius 9 person because she's born on the 18th day of the month. Now, here's what is complimentary to me. She's an air sign with a fire number, which is how I teach my students to read by the elements too. So in other words, fire and air gets together. They will tell you if there is air, if there's a fire, the one thing you don't do in principles is begin to open up doors, open up windows, because that would only add combustion or energies or empowerment to the fire energy. So that tells me she's a person that doesn't take orders well. She's a person that has a very good opinion of herself. And since she's born under a masculine sign of Aquarius and a masculine number, which is a 9, it tells me, therefore, she probably gets along better with men than women. It's not that she don't have women friends, of course. But, there was a famous comic here in Harlem named Moms Mabley, who once says the only thing a woman can do for her is bring her a man. Well, that's Miss V. Right for the most part. She's also known for her frankness, too. I've noticed in my experience that number 9 women born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th, majority, not 100% of the time, but the majority of the time have either dated, married, got engaged, or got involved with a man in uniform. Military, construction, police, fire, security, mechanics, machinists, something of that nature. Now, that may not be your case, but nonetheless, this year says you are going into a 3-person year. Compared to the year you just left, this year has been very significant because the year 2027, 2025 is the year of the 9, which is you. But on the other hand, the personal year you have been in has been a period where things have been kind of in a flux, kind of like up in the air, so to speak. But a lot of things about to take off for you, and you'll notice it around your birthday time. But your numbers again are the 9, 4, and 1, and Tuesdays and Sundays are your best days. Okay. All righty. I think, did I do this one? Hi, Lauren. Have a look forward to it. Okay. A lot of Sagittarians, well, I'm not sure about this, but I'm going to be sure. You are a fire. Well, you know what was interesting? That's the one that was born December 17th in 2004. In your case, you are a fire sign with an earth number still. But when I see the 6, what it tells me is, first of all, you're born in the year of the 1. Okay. So if I add all that together, it tells me your month, day, and year is a 1. So you're in the 1st grade in the school of life, which means your lesson here is to learn how to be a pioneer. You could have been the youngest of the brothers and sisters, but the first to leave home, the first to go to school, the first to finish school. There's always something about you that's a groundbreaker, especially in the area of service, especially in either real estate, banking, law, something dealing with the arts and whatnot. Because with 6s, they normally start off in, think of being actors, musicians, painters, whatever the case is, something that deals with the artistic side. Then later they evolve into the business phase, real estate, banking, law, working for the government. But they're always a work in progress, like to go to school. But ultimately with number 6 people, as a rule, they go into areas where they could be of service: teachers, counselors, nurses, doctors, therapists, social workers, things of that nature. So if you've done any of that, that makes sense to me. And the fact you were born at 4:26 p.m., which means your sun is sitting in the 7th house, the house of relationships and partners. Okay, that's where it is. But anyway, the year for you is a year whereby you're now ready to start fresh, start all over again. This year has brought some closures to you. And so you're ready to start new. You're ready to start fresh all over again. And I suggest that you do just that. In fact, you should have been feeling that energy as back as October, just what's this, November? Last month, yes. So you have a lot to look forward to in terms of new beginnings, new directions, about anything new that you wish to set to your mind. But your key numbers are the 6, the 3, and the 9. And since these are all considered in the artistic and creative range, so if you have been into theater or dance or like to go to concerts and plays and events and social gatherings, that would make perfect sense to me. But enjoy. All right. Now, this person is Carol Yellow Soul. No, the creator Yellow Soul, excuse me. They are astrologically on that side of the fence, they're Libra. On my side of the fence, they're number 1. But when I merged a few as an astronumerologist, which is a term I popularized in this country and actually around the world, period, from all the radio and TV appearances I made, that you are a Libra 1 person, which means you are an air sign with a fire number. And since I'm seeing 10, 10, 10 in the tarot is called the Wheel of Fortune. It means one whose plans are likely to be carried out. One who, if they make up their mind to do what they plan to do, it says the name could be known for good or bad. So it all depends on your actions, your past deeds, your future deeds, and stuff like that. I always assume that a person is always going to go on the positive side, although I know realistically that's not always the case. But if you do, it indicates you would have made an excellent lawyer, doctor, scientist, entrepreneur, manager, supervisor, director, head of a department. It tells me you may wear glasses, but although you're kind of young because you just turned 23, okay? But then even when I look at your destiny, it's a 2468. No, it's a 6. So in other words, her life path, destiny number, birth path number, but see the way I call it, because when I'm talking to people who get sessions from me, I have to understand that they may not understand the jargon we as numerologists, astronumerologists use. So they'll say when you add your month, your day, your year, some call it your life path number. Some call it your birth path number. Some call it your destiny number. But it took me a while to understand that, Lloyd, people may not, it's like if I'm talking to a doctor, he might use some word and I'm saying, it don't mean nothing to me, but anything in their field, or to a banker or to a dentist. Everybody in their own respective careers or occupations or professions have their lingo. So what I do is I'll say the month, the day, and the year you're born symbolically says you are in the 6th grade in the school of life, because that's the whole point of the destiny and the life path and the birth path, to what you're here to learn in this existence. So what happens is a lot of people, and I understood it too, that, okay, you look at the month, the day, and the year, that tells you the long journeys over the long period of time from the womb to the tomb, from sunrise to sunset. But that's the long range. It's your date of birth that tells you more of the immediate, okay? So yes, her long range is a 6, which is about service of some kind, but her immediate number is the number 1 because she's born on the 10th day. So that tells me she is here to be a leader. She's here to be a pioneer. She's here to be a groundbreaker. She's here to be very innovative, futuristic, very determined, set her ways about things. So this might indicate some resistance you might get from people. You might have lost or terminated a job or two from this birthday, because it indicates you're not going to let people talk to you any kind of way. Okay. But eventually it tells me if you don't find some niche where you have some authority over others and some supervisory position. I ain't talking about putting your thumb on people, but to guide them as a director, a supervisor, a manager, head of a department, stuff like that. You'll eventually go out on your own. And the fact that 2026 adds up to a 10, and you're born on the 10th in the 10th month, man, things are going to look pretty good for you. I'm telling you. Now, I don't care how you see, but at this point, you have a lot to look forward to. And what happens is when I did the month, the day added to the year, you will be in a 3 personal year. Now, 3 is ruled by Jupiter, which is expansion. Things begin to open up for you. Things begin to improve. So I would expect a whole lot to be jumping off for you. Now, to the negative, 3 rules scandals, schemes, rumors. So try not to get caught up into that, because it to the negative will slander your name and reputation. You don't want to do that, but you do want to take advantage of the good luck cycle that you're in, and the ability to do things in a way that will take your career and reputation to the next level. And it deals with expansion and good luck and prosperity and abundance and a whole lot of other goodies. So your key numbers are the 1, 4, and 9, which tells me you don't take orders well. And your best days are always on a Sunday and a Tuesday. Thank you. Now, this is I am more than enough, period. Okay. And good evening to you, more than enough. Now, on the Virgos, on the astrological side, she's a Virgo. On the numerical side, she's a number 6. When I merged the signs together, known as astronumerology, she became a Virgo 6 person to me. What does that mean? Well, what I do is I break it into the elements. Virgo is ruled by the element of earth. 6 is ruled by the element of earth. So therefore, she is an earth sign with an earth number. And it tells you right there, earth means very practical, very grounded. Yeah, okay, so what does that mean? So it ain't like she can't have a good time at the end of the day like everybody else. But at the end of the day, she likes to keep it real. She likes to keep it grounded. She likes to keep a little bit of common sense up in here. Not that she can't get excited and enthused and all these other things, but always being grounded. That is her nature. So therefore, she might be slow to move. She might be rushing everybody out the door to go somewhere, and she's the last one getting out the door, though she's rushing everybody to get up out there herself. That's just in theory, okay? I am more than enough, period. So anyway, but what it means, she's a good judge of character. She has a strong sense of right and wrong and justice. And she's the kind of person this year that has really put a lot of emphasis on her personal life, her personal appearance, her home, her health, and those of her family. And now she's going into the year of 2026, where she's going to step into the area known as the law of attraction, going into a 7 personal year, being more soul searching, more reflective, more going down the rabbit hole of looking at why things are the way they are. Her key numbers are the 6, 5, and 9. Her best days are always on a Friday first, a Wednesday, and a Tuesday. Now, let me tell you when I say your best days. Just as we have angelic numbers in her case, the 6, 5, and 9, each number is rule a day in the week. Now, once you know that, you know, well, when is the best time to set up an interview? I'd say Friday for her, if not Wednesday or Tuesday. Okay. Now, going out with the girls, hanging out, bowling, a movie, but to do something that has consequences. This is the point. When you want to do something that relates to, that affects your welfare, your resources, your home, your reputation, your family, you know what I'm saying? Those things that are important. You want to make sure. This is why everybody's day is not their day. Your day, young lady, is always on a Friday first. That's coming up. And then Wednesday, like today, and then Tuesday. So although the calendar would say Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, your calendar says Friday's always first, Wednesday's always second, Tuesday's always third. So anyway, I thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, you're heading in, the cycle you're heading into says don't chase after what you want, but more kind of think about it, because the 7th cycle represents the law of attraction. So you know how the elders used to say you let go and let God. Well, 7 is God's number. So if you're chasing after something, it's trying to run away from you. So don't chase after it. Just simply think about what you want. And as the elders say, you let go and let God. Okay. So it's at it. Hi, Goldie. All righty. Okay. Now this person is born on January the 7th. This is Mommy at last. Okay. Astrologically, Capricorn, numerically a number 7. As an astronumerologist, they are a Capricorn 7 person, which means they are an earth sign with a water number. And let me explain what I mean. Each sign in the zodiac is ruled by an element. You're either fire, your earth, your air, or your water. Well, the same is true with numbers. You're either a fire number or an earth number or an air number or water number. So in this case, she's an earth sign with a water number. Now, this is a great combination because anything you want to go on God's green earth, what do you get? You get rich soil. You get some seed, you put it in soil, okay? The next thing, now those seeds can stay in the ground for 100 years, whatever years, until you what magically come along and water it. So there's something with this synergy of water and earth that any seed you grow will, any seed you plant will grow. So it tells me you are a nurturing kind of person, strong personality, because Capricorn is strong and 7 is very individualistic. So it tells me sometimes people think you can be sarcastic. And so even the year you're born is the year of the 20, which suggests one of your parents could have either been a Cancer or born on a date such as the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month. It also tells me you were conceived in the month of April, somewhere around there in 1954, which is none of my business, which means that one of the parents could have also been a Leo or a Aquarius or an Aries or born on the 1st, 4th, 10th, 13th, 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month. But nonetheless, back to you. So what it means is this. The year that you're heading into is the year of the 9. How I do it, I took the month you were born, the day you were born, added to 2026, which is a 1. And so it's like 1 plus 7 plus 1 is 9. So you're heading to the, you're going into the last phase of a 9-year cycle. This is when you wrap things up. This is when you bring things to a close. This is when you make all your dreams come true in a way. You get rid of anything you no longer need, no more toxic, non-productive, wasteful of your time, and you fulfill your dreams and also possibilities of long distance trips as well too. Okay, so that's what you can look forward to. Your key numbers are the 7, 2, and 8, and your best days are always on a Monday, followed by a Saturday, and then a minor way of Friday. These are always your best days. Okay, 7s have a mind of their own, so I know you could be something else. The one thing I've noticed with number 7 women. See, 7 is kind of a number that likes to be laid back, okay? They like to be reserved. But for women, now I notice the men in a 7 don't get this, but the women born on the 7th, 16th, or 25th of the month, normally at some point in their early development, childhood, teenage years, young adults, other women think that you're snooty, stuck up, but who do you think you are? And it's not that, but 7 as a rule, especially the women, are very discreet, very discriminating, okay? They don't put all their business out there. Even their best friends don't know them. They think they might know them. With a number 7 lady, they normally like to keep a lot of things to themselves. So if you seem to be a little private or standoffish, hey, what you gonna do? So I already answered your question, Leo, about 1010. Also, the app says I'm in the year of the 2. Yes, you are right now, because what you did was I took October the 10th to this year that we're in, and you're in a 2. So when you get to December, you'll see that my app will shift where you will be in a 3 personal year. For January, you'll be in a 4 personal month. And then for the first week, you'll be in a 5 personal week. All this is in my app, okay? And so, okay, she says I'm in a 2 year, but next year I will be in a year 11. No, you won't. Because 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30, and 3 plus 0 is 3. So I don't know how that can be. So if I did this year, so let me see if I did, let me see some. So now you got me interested in something. So if I did 10, 10, 20, 20, okay. 25, okay. So that's 5, 4, 0, 2. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're right. Okay. So in other words, this year, because I've got the screen up, it's like you're in an 11 personal year. So right. So it all depends, but this is the proper way. You take the month you're born, the day you're born, you put underneath the year, which is, excuse the sloppy writing, but the point is you will be in an 11 personal year. Okay. Well, that all ends in January because you will switch gears. So things begin to open up. But what it tells me is this. It all depends. If you're in an 11 personal year, you have 2 roads to take. If you're not inspired, it's a 2, where things appear, degrees of uncertainty, things appear to be up in the air, There's no sense of foundation or groundedness that you would like for security purposes. But if you have an 811, that means you're inspired. You'll be at a bus stop and come up with this great idea. You'll be at work, sometimes we daydreaming because our mind's everywhere, but where we're supposed to be at that desk and come up with some great ideas. So if you're on the 11 path, this should have been a very inventive year with you coming up with ideas and concepts and things that are very innovative. The thing is to follow through on them, to write them down and execute them. But if you have not, well, it just means that you have just done that. Okay. I'd like to spend more time, but y'all should call me. Y'all should go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, and click on consultations so I can go into more depth. Okay. I really like doing this. Okay. All right. So good evening to you. Hi, everybody. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving. Again, my good brother, King Simon. King Simon has done so much for me. I am so blessed to know this gentleman. And there's a reason we started in radio together in New York City. So she says, Empress Rel says you need to hit that like button. Can you please do that, please? I don't understand it. For us who like to do let me, give me, can you spare, is it free? This is free. So just push the like button. I would also encourage you from now on, which I've never done, is make comments. So I know which way I'm heading. Certain things you might want me to talk about when I come and do these shows, okay? So there are going to be some changes because I'm heading into a 1 year and there is going to be some changes with this format and just about everything else I'm doing. But I want it to be for the better. And you can help me by giving me your input. You don't like this. I like this. What about this? What about that? That helps me be of better service to you. All righty. Okay. So grand evening. Oh, thank you. I always, I never forget. I always forget to put my banner up. So I need to thank Empress Rel. This is all my information. Astronumerologist, author sites, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. A star 8. Everybody should have a star 8 on their phone. AST. You should have, as my kids call it, having Lloyd in your back pocket. Okay. So it's ASTAR. All righty. And it's go to Linktree, numbers in you. The Linktree concept, I thank Simon. StreamYard, I thank Simon. My first what you call these things where you do PowerPoints. Simon has done a lot for me. I thank him from the bottom of my heart. And yes, I do have online courses. They're online. So if you go to Linktree, click on it. All my online courses are now on sale. They're dirt cheap. So if you want to kind of get started to learn numerology, and then later on in February of next year, I'm going to be giving a kind of like a certification course to teach you how to do this. So if you get terminated or whatever, you know how to make a living doing what I do. But just go to Linktree, numbers in you, and you'll click on, I have the Learn from Lloyd series. Learn from Lloyd how to read a person like a book. Learn from Lloyd the next step in numerology. Learn from Lloyd the do's and don'ts of numerology, that was co-produced and I with Jazz Aphrodite. Okay. So, and the monthly newsletter is free. My only surprise was this time I included the yearly forecast in addition, and you will get the December at some point, either this week, next week, but you'll get it. But the point is, this is something I never thought about until conversations came up. And I said, let me put this in a newsletter form, because some of you like to know, okay, what's that for February? What's ahead for this, that, and other? This way you got the whole year. And if you decide to publish or print the forecast for 2026, I did have 30 pages in your printer, okay? Because that I didn't know it would take that long. I mean, it was that much. All righty. Good evening. Congratulations on success. Thanks, Sister Mike. She's the best. That's my girl. And this is Goldie, July 18th, 1988 in Torrance, California. What's the best way to handle the month of December? Okay, good question. In order to handle it, you need to know what year you're in. So when I look at your chart, I look at it, you're in the year of the 9, but you happen to be in a 7 personal year. So 7 added to the 12th position month equals 19. So 19 denotes honor, success, and esteem. And 19 denotes new beginnings, new directions, new opportunities. So since you are See, you are a water sign with a fire number, but you'll be in a fire period. So you'll be in a fire month for December, and you'll be in a fire personal year. So that means actually this month of November is when you begin to say, okay, I don't need this, that, and the other, some eliminations. So December will be a way in which the best way to handle it is begin to set things on your terms, not what your mother wants, the kids want, the mate wants, all your best friends, girl, you should do this and that. Because ain't none of them are going to pay your bills. Ain't none of them, if things hit the fan, none of them are going to be there. It's just going to be you. So that's when a one represents. That's why next year is going to be so important for everybody, because it's going to be a one universal year, which means no one escapes. So for those that said independent relationships or codependent relationships, I should say, and you depending on this person, circumstances will force you to stand on your own. And so that's what's going to happen for you, Goldie ADHD, in December. But it's going to be exciting because you're ruled by a fire number. You'll be in a fire period, and you'll be in a fire personal month. So a lot of things should be happening. So something new is underway that you can depend on. And the best week in December will be the week of the 15th, no, the 8th through the 14th. Okay. Now, did I get that right? Yes, the 8th through the 14th. That'll be the best one. So anyway, your numbers are 9, 6, and 3. Taylor BTV, Melinda Valentine. Let me tell you, this lady is awesome. She is an equally good astronumerologist. No, she's a great astronumerologist. She's working on a project I'd like to share with you, but I ain't going to get ahead of the curve. But when she comes out, she's going to be on my show talking about it. That is for sure. And I need to thank her because she's the best. Anyway, I have a person here born the same day as 19 Keys, which is May 4th. Okay. So they're born May 4th of 1963. So when I add that out, that means the month, the day, and the year this person is born is a 1. So there'll be a 1 destiny, 1 life path, 1 birth path, to call it whatever it is. I would say to this person born on May the 4th in the year you just named, symbolically, you are in the first grade in the school of life. Now, people in the first grade or in the life path of a 1 or destiny or birth path of the 1, normally these are your pioneers. It's almost as if their role or purpose in life's experience is to break new ground, to be the first to do this, the first to do that. And although the irony was never their intention, but they said, girl, you're the first one to do this. They'll be the youngest, but the first to break from home, the first to go to school, the first to finish school. Normally, anyone born in the first grade in the school of life at some point will exhibit some pioneering spirit along their destiny, okay, at some point in their lives. But then when I look at her birthday, it tells me you're very innovative. Sometimes people will call you a maverick, unconventional, rebellious. But since you're under Taurus, it may make you a little bit more grounded, sticking by the book. If it's, everything goes by the book. But I got a feeling you are the kind of person, because Taurus symbolically is a bull, okay? 4 is known as revolutionary number. So you will have your own ways that kind of make you a standout, I would say, in some way, shape, or form. And the fact that you're about to head into a 1 personal year, and here's why I'm saying it, because your numbers are the 4, the 1, and the 5. And so since next year is the year of the 1, which is your second best number, and you will be in a 1 universal year. So your personal year and your universal year are one and the same. So if you need a break, my sister, this is happening. I'm telling you, Lori, things are about to jump for you. It all decides about what you want to do. We're so caught up about age, but it's not. And in fact, you're born in the year of the 1, because 1963 adds up to 19, which tells me one of your parents in the year you were born could have either been a Leo, Aquarius, or Aries, or born on a date such as the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, 13th, 8th, 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month. Okay. And it also means May, June, July, August. You were conceived somewhere around August of 1962, which was the year of the 9, which means there could have been a possibility that on one hand, one of the parents could have been an Aries, Scorpio, or Leo, or born on the 9th, 18th, or these are all theories. This is a project I'm working on. And normally anyway, so those are your numbers, and I wish you all the best for the year. Now, this is a beautiful, brilliant universe 25. They are a Virgo on the astrological side. They're number 1 on the numerology side. they're born in the year 1977, which is the year of the six, which means one of the parents could have either been a Taurus or Libra, or born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th. You're born at 12:45 p.m., which means your sun is sitting in the ninth house, the house of international travels, things of that nature, foreigners, foreign countries, foreign languages, and whatnot. But I'm also looking at the fact that the year that you're heading into favors you, because next year, 2026, is the year of the 10. And when you add 19, 1 plus 9 is 10. So you're heading into a year that's going to be great for you, but in a way, because this year you've been in a one personal year, but next year you'll be in the year of the 2. Let me see something right quick. If I do 2026, 24, 402. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, that's 10, 24, 5. You'll be in the 11 personal year. You'll be in the 11 personal year. Let me show you how I did that. 9, 19, 20, 26, K, 4, 5, 0, 2, that equals 11. See, that's the beauty of what I like, that you can actually see this is stuff you can do on paper. So a lot of it's in my head, but this is my way of confirming whether you're going through a master number 11 personal year. So you're going through a year that's not only very complimentary to you, because 1 plus 9 is 10 and 2026 adds up to a 10, but you'll be taking next year to a higher level. It will be somewhat like you did back in 2017 and the year 2008 when you took things to the next level. But I would say you may not remember 2008, but you may have. But basically, I would say 2017. So it tells me you're about to be elevated. You're about to take everything to the next level. And it also deals with relationship cycles as well, too. So your key numbers are the 1, 4, and 5. And your best days are always on a Sunday, a Wednesday, and a Tuesday. All righty. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Earth appears. One of my favorites, always one of my biggest supporters. I thank all of you, man. It's like, I wish I could call everybody out because I don't want nobody being left out, but it's okay. Let me see. This is okay, Hamilton Knight. Interesting. Born on the same day as Barry White, the famous singer that I had the pleasure of meeting. By the way, Barry White was also into numerology, and he has one of my books. And the irony of Barry White was he died on July 4th, which was his wedding anniversary. Okay, because I think he was born in 1944. Anyway, so you are a Virgo on one side astrologically, and a number 3 because you're born on the 12th day numerically. But when I merge the two as an astronumerologist, which is what I popularized, you are a Virgo 3%. Okay, that means you're Earth sign with a fire number. So that means you're practical and passionate at the same time. Okay, that means, yes, you're very grounded. You know how to do it. But when you get what is called fired up, that's when you take action. You go beyond, okay, now it's practical, but now let me put this practicality into motion, put some steam behind it. All righty. And so, yes, you are going into a 4 personal year. You're absolutely correct. Because when I took September the 12th, added to the year 2026, it does factor out to a 4. So what are my thoughts or insights? Well, 4 is a foundation number. 4, in a 4 cycle, that's when you lay the cornerstone to, anytime they build a building, there's always a cornerstone. Now, you may not see this cornerstone, but there is no construction in this country of any building without the cornerstone being set. And once the cornerstone is set and structured, everything else is built around it. So you are going to have to establish what kind of cornerstone you wish to set for yourself. Whether it's your job, your reputation, whatever your intentions are, is about setting the foundation, establishing a blueprint, a plan of action, so to speak, being grounded, being organized, being structured, not doing things in a helter-skelter fashion. It's not going to work for you like that. And since 4 is not one of your best numbers, but all the numbers. See, here's what a lot of people don't like the 4 for several reasons. One of them is in a 4 cycle, it means you got to put in the work. Now, if you see, you're not out of these newer generations, Gen Z, Gen whatever letters, whatever they're coming up with, where some people get this entitlement that, well, the 4 owes me. None of these numbers owe you a squat. Okay, it's what you do with them. The point is, though, that in this case, it's what you put in is what you get back. Nothing in, nothing back. It's like one time, I may have told this before, I was doing a radio show in Houston one time, Houston, Texas. And the guy says, well, brother, when is my ship coming in? My response was, did you send a ship out there? Because if you don't put nothing out there, how can you expect to get something? But I'll tell you this, in a 4 cycle, although you may have to put your shoulders to the wheel, you may have to work up a sweat, but what you put in is exactly what you'll get back in return, if not more. So if you're expecting to just be lazy, you probably have the same thing the same time next year. But if you put in the work, you put in the effort, you put in the determination, the sweat, the tears, and do whatever is necessary to get to the next step, I guarantee you by the same time next year, you're going to be really, really happy with yourself. But if you take it and see, because a lot of people like to take the easy way out, like the shortcuts in the 4 cycle, there are no shortcuts. It don't work like that. It's like to make you get your act together. And once you understand that, then you'll be okay. Okay. I'm going to go a little past the hour, not too long, but I do want to make sure I thank you. There's my man right there. What's up, Aries 9? This is my man. Okay. He got to participate in home with H. Rap Brown. In fact, I used to live in a building here in Harlem with H. Rap Brown. I didn't know who he was. I mean, I knew who he was, but I didn't know how much on the radar of the FBI and the COINTEL and all that stuff he was at that time. And the Black Panther Party too, H. Rap Brown. But anyway, he is an Aries 9 person. So he's heading into a 5 personal year. This brother is ready to turn his life around. Okay, that's for sure. All right. And since the number 1 favors Leo first, Aquarian, then Aries third, and he's in the 3rd position like a horse race of win, place, and show, he's going to show up pretty nicely. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities going for him. It's good to hear from you. I haven't seen you in a long time, but bless you and happy Thanksgiving to you, buddy. Okay. Greetings. This person, they're born February the 25th. So they are a water sign with a water number. On one side, astrologically, a Pisces, numerically on the other side, a water. So they being a water sign with a water number, that means they are definitely into their feelings, okay, as they call it. I've heard women say that, yeah, they're into their feelings. Well, whatever that's supposed to mean. But nonetheless, that means but see, here's the difference. Yes, they're water sign, but then this water sign is composed of a number 7. But 7s will make this person more just analytical and maybe question, why do they feel the way they do? Why do they feel this way about a certain person? Or do they feel this way about a certain relationship or a certain situation? You see, this is the difference that we'll be adding. Plus 7 is very friendly to the sign of Pisces. So 7 is one of the natural positions of the year where it should be. Your key numbers are the 7, 2, and 3. And it means your best days are always on a Monday first, followed by a Thursday like tomorrow. All righty. And it does indicate that you are a person that is very independent with your own mind. And when I look at the year you're going into a 1 personal year. So that means you're ready to start fresh, start new, start all over again, minus all the things of the past that has gone this year, and let bygones be bygone. But you got a lot to look forward to. So your key numbers again are the 7, 2, and 3, and Mondays and Thursdays are your best days. Okay. May 19th, Malcolm X's birthday. What's her name? The very dark-skinned model and actress. I'll think of her name in a moment. But anyway, this tells me that you are an earth sign with a fire number. And since the year 2026 is a 10, you're born on the 19th is a 10, it's going to be good, except you're going into a 6 No, no, nope, 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 nope. I stand corrected. You're in a 6 personal year. You're going to be wrapping that up. You're going into a 7 personal year. So you're going into a year that's going to say, don't chase after what you want, but simply put on the mental screen of your mind what you want. See, 7 is like a magnet. If you understand the principle of a magnet don't go to the object. The object is drawn to the magnet. And so, since you're going to be heading into the year that governs the law of attraction, whatever's on your mind, what's occupying your time and attention will be drawn to you. So, if you walk around and say, man, I ain't got no money, I ain't got no money, well, that's what you will draw to you, no money. Okay. And it's a kind of interesting cycle that you're in because it's not a cycle that deals with the typical day to day romance and finance and romance. It's more spiritual. It's more where you got to step inside of yourself, begin to question why you do the things you do. In a 7 cycle, I call it, yes, not only the law of attraction, but the cycle that governs, shall we say, the seekers of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And if you can do that, then you will have more, you will have a better knowledge and understanding and seeker of why you do the things you do, why certain people are in your life, and things of that nature. So you would be astrologically a Taurus, but numerically a number 1. But emerging as an astronumerologist, you are an earth sign with a fire number. So that means just very, very practical, very, very grounded, get very passionate, very proactive, very determined to get things off the ground. And if you read the autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley, you'll understand, and it's not just him. Grace Jones, that's the one that's born May 19th. She didn't play either. Grace Jones fired up the fashion industry and a whole lot of other things too. Okay. So you have that ability yourself. So I wish you all the best. So your numbers are the 1, 4, and 9. Your best days are always on a Sunday and a Tuesday. Those are your days. Okay. Okay. This person says, how would a person in a 3 personal year fare in a 1 universal year? So let's say, okay, so that's right. You will be in a 3 personal year. Well, see, 3 is a fire number. 1 is a fire number. So just looking at those elements alone, you will be in an element that's very complementary to the element of the universe. And 5 represents people who take the initiative, who are your starters, who are proactive, who are energized, who are the initiates, who are your pioneers, who are your go-getters. And so since 3 and 1s are like that, I'd say, man, people better watch out. Okay. That's what I'd say for you, water sign with an air number. That's what I would say. And the fact that you're born in 1975 says me one of your parents could have been an Aquarius or a Leo, or yes, Aquarius or Leo. In a minor way, maybe a Gemini, all born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, 19th, 22nd, 28th, the 31st of the month. All this is the research I'm doing. I'm working on a project I'm going to do. So anyway, I think that's true. And Goldie says, this is true. Yay, Goldie, I wish you all the best too. You're all right with me. And this person here is born on September 30th. So they are a Libra 3 person. So they're an air sign with a fire number, which means they are a Libra 3 person. And their numbers are the 3, 6, and 9, which indicates Johnny Mathis, a famous singer. I think Denise Williams, another famous singer, was born on this day. In fact, Patrice Rushen, another singer that I was privileged to know, is also born on this day. And they all did well in the musical arts. Not that, who knows, you might be thinking about going into the arts yourself. But whatever it is, 3s normally deal well in government, religion, or the arts. And I noticed that 3 people also have some relationship to the pharmaceutical industry. You know what I'm saying? Pharmaceutical sales, pharmacists, something of that nature too. But 3 also indicates very creative, very ambitious. And I would say in relationships, full queen mode, you don't do bums. Whoever you're dealing with, whoever you got a relationship with, they got to have something on the ball. That's how number 3 women roll. I'm sorry. Now they'll let somebody else pick up the slack, and they're not doing that. Okay. If you got even some potential, they'll say, okay, by the time I finish with you, you'll get there. But normally 3s don't do bums, for lack of a better way of putting it. Or in other words, somebody that don't have no ambition, somebody that don't have no drive and stuff like that. They're not going to keep your company. But your numbers are the 3, 6, and 9, which represents the artistic core. And your best days are always on a Thursday, a Friday, and a Tuesday. All right. And you're going into a 4 personal year, which means you're going to have to hit the brakes. You're going to have to come into the year with some kind of plan, some kind of method, some kind of architect, some kind of blueprint, some kind of structure of how you're going to do things. And it's not about helter skelter. I mean, you can do helter skelter, but the year you're going into says that's not going to work. You're going to have to plan of action that takes you from point A to point B, from point B to point C, all the way to the conclusion of what you want to reach in life. All right. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's it. Okay. Thank you. This person says, how is they help? Normally, I don't get the help, but each number does really help. I will say this. One of the things about if all the numbers from 1 to 9, 4s and 8s tend to be a big question mark to health. First of all, both 4s and 8s as a rule are misunderstood. There's always something about. So I will tell a 4 person or 8 person to know you is to love you. Okay. And so it's not that it just what it is with number 4s and 8s. I'll tell them if they're going to the doctor and the doctor comes up with an assessment that seems serious minded, I tell a 4 or 8, go get a second opinion. However, don't tell the second doctor what the first doctor says. You want to see if the second doctor, independent of their own, come up with the same conclusion, that maybe you might have it. Another thing too is astrologically. They will say, especially for 4s and 8s, always if you go, try to set up a date where your exam is when the moon is in a cardinal sign. What does cardinal sign mean? Cardinal sign means when it's in the sign of Aries, which is spring, Cancer, which is summer, Libra, which is fall, and Capricorn, which is winter. I don't know why that is, but this seems to be the rule for thousands of years in astrology. So the EMA, don't get mad at me. Y'all gonna have to burn up all these astrology books up in here, okay? And I don't think that's gonna happen, but that's the rule. The more complicated you think your situation is, and the more you need a precise diagnosis, always get it when the moon is in a cardinal sign. It's very easy. All you got to do is go to Google and say, where's the moon at today? If the moon is in Aries, spring, Cancer, summer, Libra, fall, Capricorn, notice it's just the seasons. So you got to say, what season is the moon in? If the moon is in one of those seasons, then set that appointment up for 4 and 8. But normally with number 4s, though, a lot of it has to do with a state of mind. A sudden breakup, you go into a funk. Sudden loss of job, you go into a funk. Something that throws you off your rhythm normally will throw you off your base. And I always tell 4s to kind of like back up from watching a lot of TV, because TV is about, if it leads, it bleeds and all this other stuff. So by the time you finish leaving TV, boy, you so dressed in, they throw all them pharmaceutical commercials in on the top of that too. So like you be saying like, wow, what's up with that? All right. So anyway, your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 6 people need to hit that like button. Thank you. And happy holidays to you, Queen D 2931. And chill, hit the like button. That's my man. I ain't seen him in a while, but it's good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Okay. You said you've been trying to study. You have one of my books? Good. You should, if you got one of my books, I hope it's the orange one, because that's like the Bible. Take advantage of my 3 courses are now on sale. I think if you take a person to breakfast now, that's going to cost you about 40 or 50 bucks. I swear. And then you'll want to know why I don't go out. Okay. I'd rather have my tea and coffee or chocolate right here in the house. But the point is this, that take advantage of the course. You go to Linktree, linktr.ee/numbersinYou, and sign up for one of my 3 courses. I would suggest you sign up for the first course. Learn from Lloyd how to read a person like a book. It's a Learn from Lloyd series. Learn from Lloyd how to read a person like a book. Then learn from Lloyd the next step in numerology. Then learn from Lloyd the do's and don'ts of numerology. All of those courses, you can get all those courses now for less than the price of breakfast. And you own them. You own them. Just go to my website. You either go to Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, but to click on it immediately, because all my classes are listed. Go to Linktree/numbersinYou and just sign up for them. Okay. That way you save yourself a ton of money. And this way it gives you a chance to do this. If you think you've got a knack for this, then you can go deeper. Then you can join my class when I'm going to teach it in February, March, somewhere around there. I think probably after Mercury's retrograde, because it starts retrograde from February the 25th to March something. So maybe I might do it after Mercury's retrograde. That's be somewhere in March. But the point is this way you can kind of test the waters without making a major investment. Okay. That's exactly what you can do. So I would suggest anybody who wants to learn the art of how I do this, how I created the term astronumerology, and why I'm one of the best to ever do this on this planet, you should take that course, okay? And they're all absolutely inexpensive, okay? And you should own all three. And again, if you sign up now while they're all on sale for less than breakfast for two, you got them all and you own them. And then you go at your pace. You see what I'm saying? Some people go fast, some people go not as fast, some people go slow. But the point is that you own the courses and you can take your leisurely time in studying it. And in fact, I had Brother Israel from England on who runs the Astrology Association there that learned and took my course and now teaches numerology there in England. I had him on my show too. So do that. So if you've been trying to study that, do that because I do blend in astrology too. So if you got one of my books, then taking the course will help you tremendously. So just go to Linktree/numbers in you, and you can go. You see, I've got all my newsletter there. Just sign up for that. My app, sign up for that. Everything is listed there. Or you can go by way of Lloyd-Strayhorn.com if you want to set up appointments too. But either way you do it. But I think to me, Linktree/numbers in you is the best way to get all those features. They're all highlighted and you just take your choice in the menu. Okay. So thank you very much for that. Okay. I think that's it. No. Okay. This person, I'm going to just spend about another 10 minutes or so. Mr. Strayhorn, what will 3/27/72 moving forward towards new 26? Well, first of all, you are in Aries. Now, here's the thing. Astrologically, they're Aries. Numerically, they're 9. Astronumerically, they are an Aries 9 person, okay? And what it simply means, this person is a fire sign with a fire number. So that means people might think you're overbearing. And then not only that, you're born in the year of 1972, which is the year of the one, which tells me one of your parents, in fact, could have been, in fact, a Leo or an Aquarius or an Aries like yourself, which wouldn't have surprised me at all. So you are going to be moving into a year of the 4. Although the year favors Leos first, Aquarians second, Aries third, and you're Aries, you're going to be heading into a cycle where you're going to have to put in the work. You will be in a 4 personal year. And 4 represents the 4 corners, the foundations, the laying the groundstone, the cornerstone of whatever you wish to do. So all it is yes, just be prepared to put in the work. But actually, I have never had anything that has become worth it without you putting in the effort. First of all, you appreciate what you got. You just give somebody something, they don't appreciate it. But if you work for something, you work that sweat and you went through toil and tears. I went through a lot of changes, decades doing this. I went through a lot of doubts and all kinds of things. Asking myself, was I crazy? I need to go get my job and feed my family, all this stuff. But fortunately, thank goodness, I hung in there. And then you reach the other side, and it's worth it. I'm just telling you, this is for all of you. No one does something without some effort. You got to put some skin in the game. But if you're the kind of person that think you are entitled, that somebody owes you, you're not going to get anywhere. And you're going to get your feelings hurt when real life sets in, and it will set in. If not now, later. So I'm saying just do what you got to do, put in the work, and you will find that when you reach that other side, then you don't have to look back. It's a great feeling. That's all I can tell you. So anyway, your key numbers are the 9, 6, and 3, and your best days are always on a Tuesday, Friday, and Thursday. Thank you. I'm going to take about 4 more. This is Jennifer Tabush. How are you, Jennifer? Your key numbers, you're borderline case. Now, that has nothing to do with medicines or medical things. Sometimes people born on the 22nd of the month represents you could have either been a Scorpio or the last days of Libra. But anyway, if you are a Libra, that means you're about 29, 30 degrees into Libra. Or if you're a Scorpio, you're about 1 or 2 degrees into Scorpio. So you would need an astrologer. You need to know the time and the location where you're born to be exact. So nonetheless, you're in a 5 personal year. You'll be entering in a 6 personal year for 2024. Since 6 is the major opposition number to the number 4, it means you may be tested a bit. It's not that you're not going to get through the year, but if you think it's going to be a year of paradise and all that other stuff, that may not be the case. There's going to be things that's going to affect your home, relationships, your finances, and things like that. It would be a good time to go back to school and whatever the case is. But if you are a Libra, your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. If you are a Scorpio, your numbers are the 4, 1, and 9, which means on the Libra side, your best days are on Sundays and Mondays and Wednesdays. On the Scorpio side, your days are on Sunday and Tuesday. All righty. Thank you. And you're very sensitive too. And this is Frida Darby. You are a Scorpio 1, a Taurus 1 person. So your numbers indicates headstrong, a person that has never really taken orders very well. This year you've been in a 6, so it tells me there's things been affecting your home, your health, relationships. The nice thing is as we move into 2026, which is the year that adds up to a 10, and you are a 10, that is very favorable. And then you're going into a 7. So that means that if you want health, see it more in your mind. You want money. Anything you want in a 7 personal year, you must put it on the mental screen of your mind. Okay? Because it doesn't deal with the material and emotional world that we know as romance and finance. It deals with going deep down the rabbit hole, going deep within, going into a more spiritual. This is when people go back to church and get readings, go to psychic fairs, because they're looking for something that goes beyond the normal 5 senses of life. Okay. All right. As Queen D says, can y'all please hit that like button? Okay. Thank you. 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 All righty. I'm going to take a couple of more. Crafts woman. Love the contents. Thank you very much. This person is a Leo 4 person. Okay. Which means they're a fire sign with an air number. That means 7 is a number that tends to be misunderstood. That is your formative years. And 4 is a number that tends to be misunderstood, which is your productive years. So, and then even if I look at the year you're born in, which is 79, all these numbers indicate it's going to be hard being you through no fault of your own. There will be always somebody who think you're snooty and stuck up in the early part, think you're weird at this point in life, and what has gotten into you down at the end of the road. So if it ain't one thing, it's another. But let me tell you this, you're more blessed in ways that you know. And I would say your numbers indicate you more of a loner, and not in a bad way, but 7s don't need company, 4 don't need company, and 8s tend to be misunderstood. But if you live your life right, it tells me you're going to end up with land and property, resources, insurance, assets, precious metals, who knows? But you're going to end up doing very, very well. I would say at this point, the tendency is for people to kind of read you wrong, but you are a fire sign with an air number, and your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5, and your best days are always on Sunday and Wednesday. Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. Okay. Okay, this person, they wanted to know, will I transition into something new in my career about 20? Well, actually, this year you've been in a 1 personal year. Okay. So what I did was it says, so let me do something right quick and see if this is a master number. 2, 8, 20, 26. Okay, that's 6302. Yay. Excuse the sloppy handwriting, but I'm trying to make a point. You will be in an 11 personal year. So you won't be in a 2 year. Now the master number governs either Leo first or an Aquarius. If it was a 22, it would be Aquarius first and a Leo. The point is that you're heading into a master number cycle, which is an 11. And so this will allow you to raise your awareness. And since Aquarius is ruled by the master number 22, and you'll be going through a master number 11 cycle, it tells me you should be on your game by coming up with ideas and concepts, but not only just coming up with them, but following through. Because number 1 is when you plant your seeds, and you want to plant the seeds of your success to last for the next 9 years cycle. Okay. And it does indicate that as only as you got older, your life got better anyway. And then you have, see, and then your key numbers are the 8, 4, and 1. So you got two numbers that tend to be misunderstood, misdiagnosed, all wrapped into one. So don't worry about trying to make impressions. Just be who you are, but you can't be nobody else anyway. And so since you're going through a master, it tells me you're going to be changing your diet, or at least considering it, rearranging things around the home, or if working some things at the office space, new manager, new supervisors, new location, or whatever the case is. But it means take your time, be patient. But because you are in a master number 11 year, it means begin to think and follow through on those ideas, on those daydreaming moments when you get this brilliant streak of an idea. Just don't dismiss it. Write it down, jog it, and make sure you follow through later. You just might surprise yourself, okay? So your numbers are the 8, 4, and 1, and Saturdays and Sundays are always your best days. So this person here is February the 23rd, which makes them a water sign with an air number, and their numbers are the 5, 3, no, the 5, 6, and 3. That is the order, the 5 first, then the 6, then the 3. So this person here this year has been going through a 7 cycle. Now they're about to enter a finance cycle. And so this is your birthday, Solange. It indicates that, first of all, your birthday suggests you always know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. So if you're married and you got your apartment, you got your job, your car, it's because somebody you knew said, girl, go here. They didn't get the job, but you got the job. You got the apartment. They didn't get the apartment. It's kind of works like that. Really, really interesting dynamics. Not that you haven't gone through changes, but it does indicate you tend to know people who know people, which is why you've been blessed in ways you have. This particular year, though, says that you've been doing a lot of soul searching, trying to make self-inventory of your actions, your thoughts, your deeds, and why you do things. But now you're going to move into a legacy cycle where you can build. You can do things with properties and whatnot. And it's also a pregnancy cycle, too. Now, yes, I see the year you're born, but I'm not talking about that. Symbolically, you give birth to an idea, birth to a plan, or somebody may say, girl, you're going to be a auntie, you're going to be a godmother or something of that nature. And it also indicates reconnecting with your past, but your numbers are the 5, 6, and 3, and your best days are Wednesday, Friday, and Thursdays. All righty, Nicole, 21, 21, I'm going to do 2 more, and then I'm going to have to stop, okay, in light of mine. This person here is a fire sign with a 5 number, which means passionate. And they're going to be heading into a 7 personal year. So this has been a very interesting year for you, Nicole Bradford, in the sense that something should have happened around education, home, relationships, finances, things of that nature. Now it's about backing up and beginning to question the motives of everything around you, even question your own motives, looking deeper into things of why you're doing the things you do. But it's about coming up with some very interesting dreams. All of this started back in October. Right now, you're in a pregnancy cycle for this month of November, which means symbolically giving birth to ideas and plans and things of that nature. And I'm laughing because it says you were born in the year 2978, but it's got to be 1978. And that means one of your parents could have either been born on the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, 25th, 29th of the month, or they were born under the sign of Pisces or Cancer, which means somewhere around in February. And so we're around June, July. Okay. It tells me you're a natural flirt. See, there's the correction right there. I said, whoa, she's from the future. That's great. Okay. I never had nobody from this far off the road. But anyway, love and light to you too. And I want to wish you all the best. Your lucky numbers are always the 3, 6, and 9, and your best days are always on Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday. Okay. And one more. A lot of December. What's up with December? They tend to run the house to say, okay, let me see something. There's something I forget to do sometimes. And sometimes people make donations and I forget. And I don't want to see, this is a person. Okay, there's a person made a donation. So I have to get to them and then I will do this. So the person is born on December the 7th. You are a fire sign with a water number, which means very particular. You're heading into a year that's going to affect a transition in your life in some way, shape, or form. So it means you got to take it easy. It means you're going to be making changes in your personal life with relationships and things of that nature. So those are the things that are about to, also indicates somewhere change of diet and also more attention to the stomach and digestive tract as well. And so your key numbers are the 7, 2, and 3, and your best days on Monday, Thursday, and Friday. And I do want to thank this person for the donation here. Their birthday is November 26th, which is today. Tina Turner was born on this day, and a couple other famous people was born on this day, but I ain't going to get into all of that. But the point is this: happy birthday, happy Valentine's, what's up with this Valentine's Day? Happy Thanksgiving. And your birthday indicates you are a fire sign with an earth number. Practical, pragmatic, passionate, down to earth, an initiator, yet a person who is very conservative at the same time. And so this year for you is a year where you have had to learn how to stand alone to determine what's in your best interest. You are in a one personal year that you're about to wrap up. And what it means is we move forward into the year of the 2010, you will be moving into a master. I wonder if you'll be moving into a master number 11 personal year too. Let me do this right quick. 11, 26, 20, 26. So that's 12, 13, 6. Wow. Everybody, y'all got to forgive my sloppy handwriting, but I'm doing the best I can. You'll be in the 11 personal year too. So this is interesting. So you're coming into a cycle that's going to really raise your kundalini, as they used to call it, your awareness, your spiritual side. And so it means to begin to think in terms of how to better live your life, how to come up with ideas that make life easier for you, more productive for you, and things of that nature. And you will have no regrets. Believe me, my friend, you will have no regrets at all. But thank you for the donation, by the way. Your most important, the lucky numbers are the 8, 3, and 6, which means Saturday, followed by Thursday, followed by Friday. It's not Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's Saturday first, Thursday second, Friday third, which are your best days, okay? So I do have to thank everybody very, very much. Listen, I have to thank my moderator, who is the best, Empress Rel. Please leave comments. I've never asked for them, but I'm beginning to understand this after years of saying, well, you asked for them. It wasn't about me getting your thumbs up and all that stuff. But do me a favor, leave comments so I can see and learn from the experience of doing these segments so I can respond to you in a better way. So before I sign off, let me let you know that the show is being brought to you by Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. Do purchase her books at Amazon.com. You purchase it, leave a review, send a review into her along with your business, birthday, and everything. She'll do a complimentary session on you. You can also get it on ebook. Also, Recept. For those of you who think about setting up your own and you need a kind of an AI receptor to kind of like monitor your calls to start out with this professional feeling, please do that. Also, Numeralytics with Melinda Valentine. My Leo lady, she is on the ball. Do call that number at the bottom. She's coming up with a new podcast and whatnot. And also she does a 4-part reflection journal. Right now we're in the fire period, so I'm just showing this one that you should buy. Also, Dr. Uchenna Hackett with his book. I'm going to have him back on soon. Now that his book is available on Amazon and in ebook, along with a journal, so you can journal things. You'll find it to your advantage. Also, Nicholas Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street. They're going to be having an event week after next on sound bowl and yoga. But on the 6th of December, she's going to give herself a party. She's going to be a guest on my show on December the 3rd. And you will understand after having her on why Nicholas Brooklyn is such a popular store in the community. And of course, Pick Up Jazz's audiobook, Knocking from the Inside. By this time next week, November will be a wrap. But if you still want to sign up for the newsletter, it's absolutely free. Or if you still want to hear what November forecast was to see if you fell in line with that, that is one thing to do. This is my brand new feature. And I've been doing the personal year for goodness knows how long, but I've never put it in a newsletter fashion. All of you who have subscribed should now have this sitting in your mailbox. If not, just go to Lloyd-Strayhorn.com or Linktree/numbers in you and sign up. It's absolutely free. Don't give your information away. And this is an idea of what it looks like. It breaks down the months And then I break down what signs are going to be good, what colors to wear for that particular month, and an almanac of when to buy a car or cut your hair or buy electronics or whatever else you might be interested in. And at the bottom of the link, as you see right there at the very bottom, that blue link at the very bottom, you click on that link, that will take you to our forecast where we do it actually online. So this is it. Just go to Kimberly, Kimbaley, so you can see you see it's almost an hour and change, so it's long, but you'll get it like that. And for those of you, by the way, for when you get it in your newsletter, you'll go down to April and you think it stops. It doesn't. If you go to the very bottom right, you'll see to click on the entire interview. Just click on that and it'll open up and you get all 12 months. All righty. And one last thing, just as I have put out my newsletter for the year, also Miss Kimberly is also revealing her business energy reveal for the entire year of 2026. So everybody, I want to thank you. This is fun. Let me run my mouth. I wish I could get into all of you, but all of you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, a safe one. And y'all take good care of yourselves. And I can't thank you enough. Very, very much. Y'all I'm just a very fortunate person. And to all of you, God bless you too. Y'all take good care. Have a great weekend. And I will see you next week.